Yo, here we go. It's my sick, nasty flow. It's the Gaming Memories Prophet, bro. This is a perfect example why I should never rap again. Luckily, no one listens to this shit. And two, the world is ending, so no one's going to be around to hear how terrible that was because the country's on fire. We're all going to die from a virus. Yellowstone's going to blow. We're going to get covered in ash. The sun's going to get blacked out. All life's going to die. And the aliens have been sitting around and waiting for this to happen because their lifespan is like thousands of years. And they showed up forever ago. It was pretty obvious to them. They're like, these bitches, they're going to be extinct by the weekend. Let's just sit this one out. That's how I'm feeling these days. But good news is I had a fantastic time talking to the bros over at the Bros and Blokes podcast. They're from Missouri. They talk about man shit, being dads, working out, getting tan and jacked, playing sports, but also they're both pretty into video games. And one bro is from Missouri. The other bloke is from the UK. I thought he sounded Australian, which is so typical for an American to get one of those accents wrongs. Hey, bro, you from Australia? I'm from the UK, bitch. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. That's probably happened to him at least 20,000 times in his life. He was very gracious about it. Nice guys all around. Great time. We talked a lot about the NES, the Mega Drive, or the Genesis. It was a lot bigger in the UK than it was in the United States. Anyway, we had a great time. They're awesome. Check their podcast out. I will put all the podcast links in the description as usual. Make sure to give them a like. Make sure to give them a follow. And make sure to spread the good news of the gaming memories gospel, and the gaming gods will bless you. And if you feel so inclined, you can give me money too. But it's just donations, and I certainly won't be paying taxes on that money either. Anyway, fantastic podcast. Check out the Bros and Blokes. I say these things in the name of Miyamoto the Father, Kojima the Son, and Carmack the Holy Ghost. Amen, and enjoy the show, folks. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's do, to make it easy to sync up, I'm gonna, let's say 3, 2, 1, Australia sucks.
Yes!
3, 2, 1, Australia sucks. Perfect. Okay, that'll let me link it up. So what's up? You guys messaged me about streaming, and then I started stalking you online, and I was like, wait, these guys have a podcast.
Yeah.
And you said Blokes, and that's like, oh, okay. They say Blokes in Australia. Let me check these guys out. And I noticed it's like you're a lifestyle, like you're into fitness, gaming, being dads. Like, give the people listening a spiel on what your podcast is about, format, and all that stuff. I like
that. So, we have 4 main subjects, if you want to call it that. We do fitness, we do gaming, we do parenting, and we do like social activities.
And our 5th one is we make fun of James.
That's the 5th one, which is a rare one. But it's there. We just do those 4, and we kind of rotate each week what we're going to talk about. We just finished recording an episode on the game developers. We talked about like theories on, certain games that they've just made, or if they're going to make new ones in their titles or whatever.
Well, we just talked about how bad EA and Activision are. Really, that's what it was.
That's what it became, yeah. Oh. But yeah,
who was the developer?
We were talking about EA and Activision, and just that kind of how shitty they are. I mean, sure, they make some good products, but
it can be hit and miss.
Hit and miss.
Their lawsuits are crazy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, reading up on those, like the spouses forming like some kind of rebel alliance.
Rebel alliance. Yeah.
No pun intended. And they won a lawsuit. They got $15 million from EA because their spouses were being overworked during crunch time. So there you go.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, crunch time itself is a sensitive subject.
Big time, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's still going. Like it's still happening today.
I believe it.
Yeah. Like, wasn't there a crunch time for what was that Seth Rogen animated movie? Oh my God.
The sausage one?
Yeah, Sausage Party.
Sausage Party?
Yeah, there's like a huge thing about that where they made all the animators like just work excessive amounts of hours.
Really?
Yeah, it was turned into a big deal.
Huh. Not a sausage.
I never heard that about that movie.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was okay, but
yeah, it was a little intense. A couple parts. Fine.
So, how often do you guys release, and where can people find you online?
Yeah, so we record once a week. Right now, we're getting ready for the launch of season 2. God, it sound like a movie or a TV series. Anyway, yeah. So season 2 will drop June 1st, and we're going to have 2 episodes drop. One of them is going to be on our thoughts on the good old C virus, the coronavirus. That's a hot topic. And the other one is on fitness competitions and CrossFit competitions specifically. And we talk about, for people who are new to it or want to do competitions, what they can expect and things to kind of shake off those nerves and all that. So, those 2 episodes will drop on June the 1st, and then we'll just be week to week. So we drop episodes every Monday. And like I said, we rotate topics. But yeah, we have Instagram, Facebook. We're at Bros and Blokes on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We just established our Twitch, so we're going to start streaming here pretty soon, which is twitch.tv/Bros and Blokes. So all the socials.
Nice. How did you guys decide what led to the idea of creating the podcast and deciding on these subjects? It's a nice mishmatch of subjects.
Yeah, I think it's
healthy mix mash.
Kind of random. Yeah, so I approached Callan because I train with Callan at a local CrossFit box, which they all hate being called that.
No, man, it's a gym. We just talked about gym. I don't even want to get into CrossFit stuff.
But yeah, we talked about coming up with a podcast where we talk about some games, and then we kind of developed it with one of my other buddies, Tyler, because he's a big fitness guy and he wanted to talk about fitness stuff. So we thought, why don't we kind of combine everything and make it more of like an educational style podcast for guys who, are interested in doing fitness elements or wanting to know about certain games. Because I feel like a lot of guys kind of, have interests in all of those areas. And so we thought it'd be good to do, different topics on certain areas of fitness, like doing an episode on the bench press or, doing an episode on horror games, which we haven't done yet, but we're going to.
Oh, all right.
I figured we might. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
That's cool, you.
I'm in.
Just commissioned right here. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's kind of how it was conceived, and then we restarted recording. Was it late last year?
Yeah.
I think it was. That's when we did
November, December.
Yeah, that's when we did our first one in my kitchen. Check out the social media to see those videos.
Quality.
Got to start somewhere, right? And so yeah, that's when we started doing some episodes. We threw them together, and then we've done a full season now. So loving life.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's awesome. That's one of the things that stood out to me when I started stalking you guys online after we were messaging. Is I was like, okay, I'm pretty. I don't do CrossFit, but I do a lot of grappling, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo.
Oh, nice, dude.
And so I do workouts to try to make my performance better.
Right.
But most of the time when I'm nerding out with someone in games, I can't also nerd out with fitness.
Yeah.
So that I was like, oh, these guys are into games and they're into working out. I should probably talk to them.
I appreciate that, man. That's actually really cool.
That's pretty much our thing too. Is even today, we say, right, we're going to record episodes on just games. So we won't even we haven't said anything about fitness.
Not really.
Maybe a little bit, but
last week we did.
Last week. But no, I'm just saying, when we do a specific recording session, like today, for example, last week, you're right, we did do a little bit of a crossover, but we like to focus in on one topic at a time.
So what you're saying is each episode, you don't move subjects. Each episode is set on one of the subjects.
Yeah, James comes up with kind of a list or a guide for us or a script even. And we kind of just go off of that idea for the day. And we normally, we do two to three podcasts.
Roughly, per recording session.
Per recording session.
So each of those recordings will be a different subject. So in answer to your question, we won't kind of transition during maybe we will. No, I'm thinking about it. I think we just do one subject per recording. Yeah, that's a good idea though. Thanks.
Keep it simple.
Sweet. Well, okay. So you're from the UK. Where are you from?
Me, as in
the other.
Oh, Callan. Alan.
Oh no. Yes, I'm from the US. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm from Kansas City.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what year were you guys born?
I'm 85.
Play into the questions I ask you about video games.
I forgot. Hold on. 87.
You're 87?
80. I'm an 80.
Wow.
You guys younger?
Yeah, I'm 85.
Yeah, 87 for me.
And Callan?
85.
You're the same as me.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I'm 85 as well. So that's good. That's okay. So what I like to talk to people about their the games that kind of impacted them growing up, what they played starting in early childhood and then moving up.
Get ready.
I like to try to guess the first. I like to try to guess the first console. I bet I can do it. So Callan, 85. First console you probably played was an NES, and you, 87, you probably played the Mega Drive, the Genesis.
Jesus.
That's actually
right?
good.
Dude, you're like a Jedi. That was spot on.
I am a Jedi.
Wow.
I know that the Genesis or the Mega Drive was the Genesis and the Mega Drive. I actually just learned this recently. Was way more popular in the UK than the US. I didn't know that because in the US it was like Super Nintendo, Genesis. There was arguing. Most of my friends the Super Nintendo was slightly more popular by the end of the console lifespan, that generation. But I just learned just recently in another podcast, the UK, the Genesis or the Mega Drive over there outsold the Super Nintendo like 25-1, something ridiculous.
Whoa.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah, you guys are Sega fans over there.
That's interesting you say that. I didn't know that, but that makes perfect sense because quite frankly, I mean, we had the Super Nintendo, but I didn't have one. My growing up was the Sega Mega Drive, and that's all I played, and I got the games for that. And then obviously fast forward many years, like the next console came out. So it's almost like I just kind of skipped over that whole...
So did you get the Dreamcast when it came out? Was that a thing?
So I didn't have a Dreamcast, but my friends did. So I had the Sega, and then for me it was the leap to N64, I think it would have been. Yeah. So there was just...
Wow, you just skipped
I skipped like a generation, probably. Did I? I don't know. You tell me. But that's interesting that you say that, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's I kept running in. I've had some other guests from the UK and other guests from different parts of Europe, and I noticed that I'm like, they all generally prefer the Genesis or play the Genesis or Mega Drive, I should say, over the Super Nintendo. And then I listened. There's this podcast. I don't know if you'd be interested in it. It's called Business Wars, and they have a whole like 12-part series that goes over basically all the video game companies from 72 up to modern days.
Oh, damn.
And about the different maneuverings and who did this and who did that, and they launched and backstabbed this person. And it just goes through like the whole industry, like the last 30 years. And they talk a lot about how Sega had this massive worldwide footprint, specifically in the UK and Japan, but they didn't do as well in the US. And just how different it, depending on where you grow up and what year you were born, sort of the games that you think are legendary are different. So that's kind of why I like to ask people. Let's start with Callan, though, since I'm a little bit more familiar with the NES, and you were born the same year as me. Did you have an NES at home, or just like was homies at school or in the neighborhood?
My grandpa was addicted to Dr. Mario. Yeah, good story. So yeah, when we could wrestle,
yes, Grandpa.
Yeah, when we could wrestle the controller away from him, we would like. Tecmo Super Bowl was in naturally Mario 3, I think was our jam.
I think you're the first person to bring up Tecmo Super Bowl, which is really surprising.
Freaking love Tecmo Super Bowl, man. You pick the Raiders, you have Bo Jackson, and it's just over.
Yes.
Like, it's over. And I mean, I love the Chiefs, I love Christian Okoye, but, Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, I still think might be overall arguably the greatest athlete of all time. Maybe. He's up there.
I don't know how do you argue against it? The dude's like breaking bats over his legs. He played football. Like
bats.
He bent a metal bat over his knee. Like,
oh my God.
Didn't he throw an outfield? Like, he caught a ball in the outfield and he threw it from the outfield to home plate to get someone out. Like,
damn,
that's freaking ridiculous, right?
That's pretty wild.
I mean,
it is ridiculous. The arguments I've heard against him not being the greatest athlete is because he was spread thin between too many sports, so he never achieved. I'm not like a sports buff, so I'm just regurgitating what I've heard. So if I'm wrong, feel free to roast me and make fun of me.
No,
but what I've heard is that he didn't win any championships in either sport, right?
I don't think so. No, he was with the Raiders and Bills.
That's the argument I heard, that I've heard people argue, well, he didn't win a championship in either baseball or football or anything else that he did.
Dude.
But the counter argument to that is he's the only one that played pro sports across that many different sports. So it's sort of like depending on how you decide, like how you want to count the points, so to say.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's just generational, like once in a generation kind of athlete Yeah, LeBron James is incredible. Like LeBron James is like a, just kind of a god among men when it comes to basketball. But dude, he's only playing basketball. Like Bo Jackson did it all, man. He played football, he played baseball. And so what if he didn't win? I think that's when people start like chalking up championships. Well, he's no Michael Jordan. It's like, yeah, Michael Jordan tried to play baseball and he went back to basketball immediately because he was terrible at it.
Yep.
And Bo Jackson was great at both. Like I hate that argument. That's
yeah.
Plus, he was the most broken character, most broken player in a video game. I guess Pat Mahomes right now is pretty broken in Madden, but
is he? I don't know.
I feel like, dude, Bo Jackson was so broken in Tecmo Super Bowl. It's just an instant win.
It's funny you bring that up because I specifically remember picking the Raiders, Bo Jackson, and you could throw the ball to yourself with him. You could throw it, run down the field, catch it, and then score. And it was just like that's how the game was so broken. You could just basically beat every.
That's
team
wild.
With the same method over and over and over again.
I would get in fights with my cousins on who could play the Raiders.
Yeah. Sweet. So Grandpa had an NES. What about you over in the UK? You had the Mega Drive. What do you remember? What's some of the earliest memories you remember playing?
So I think one of the first few games that I played, don't laugh, you're going to laugh. The Lion King.
Ooh,
told you not to laugh.
That's a good one.
Look, I grew up with two sisters, okay? I'm a middle child. And so this console came out and the family clearly needed to please all three of us. And so they thought Lion King was the way forward. And you know what? I laugh about it. But I've got to admit, that game did become super addictive. I mean, for its time, you're jumping up, you're grabbing bugs, you're, going through, typical platform stuff.
What lions do.
You're a Lion King. Well, not yet. Anyway. But yeah, it became addictive in a sense because a lot of these, platform games of the time are very much about the timing, right? So there's a level where you're trying to jump from one giraffe's head to another. But of course, the giraffe's heads are like tipping up and down in a certain rhythm.
I want to say I played this.
You didn't play it?
I know I did. Man. I think I did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
It is good, yeah. So obviously you get frustrated because you'd be halfway through jumping over giraffes' heads and then one would tip up and you'd roll down and die. And you're like, no! You have to start over again. And so, yeah, eventually when you get to the point in the game when you're like the big, what's his name? Simba. Then I feel like it gets real because then you're facing hyenas and all this. And fast forward to the last level when, of course, you play Scar and you have to master this button combination because a lot of it's been button smashing for certain enemies. But there's this part where you have to at the very top of rock, whatever. You have to literally do this.
Pride Rock.
Pride Rock. Thank you. Yeah, I remember
that was a great GIF, by the way. Do you say GIF or do you say GIF?
I say GIF. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say. So, have you seen that GIF of Rafiki like holding Simba up as a cub, and he just chucks him off a Pride Rock? It's so good.
That's classic. Yeah.
But anyway, Lion King was pretty big. The other one, FIFA 95 at the time.
Whoa,
that doesn't surprise me. You football soccer.
Yeah.
Over there.
Thank you.
Callan knows I'm a big soccer nut. But yeah, I ended up getting, I don't know how I got it in there, maybe I bought it, but FIFA 95, that was great. And, you guys talk about what you could do with, the Raiders in that game. With FIFA, there is ways where you could start with the goalie with the ball and technically out-dribble everyone in the outfield and score a goal. It was challenging, I'll give you that, but that became like one of the challenges that you do with your friends because, you get after a while, like, oh, I played this game, whatever. And so that would be one of the challenges that you take the goalkeeper, try and weave through all the defenders and, without getting tackled. And I want to say I succeeded maybe one or two times. But anyway, so yeah. Lion King, FIFA 95, and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, well, naturally.
Yeah. Sonic's classic. The question with FIFA, I played FIFA on the PlayStation 1. When I played the later version of FIFA, I remember the goalie not being able to like move past the bigger box. You know how
that's right. Yeah,
there's like
they did implement that. Yeah, and it much frustration.
Oh, okay. They fixed that.
Yeah, well, so now you I think you can do it. I mean, I haven't admittedly tried in like the latest FIFA one, but there's a button combination now where you can drop the ball and start to dribble it. But they did implement it in like the early 2000 ones where you couldn't do it. So yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question. Since you're from 85, what are your thoughts on Battletoads?
Well, even with emulator and save states, being able to save and load at any point at any time, I still can't beat that fucking
I can't either, man. I can't either.
That game can just suck all the dick.
Oh, dude.
I do not. I mean that in like a not like a
no.
It's
It's legit, man. Like so we had a carnival at this little town that I used to live in, and that was one of the things was the local video game or video store had brought out an NES, and Battletoads was the game, and you could just sign up and you could play it, and whoever got the farthest in the game won, and it was top 3 prizes, and I ended up getting a free rental because I came in 3rd.
What?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I made it to like what's that tunnel level? The horrible, which isn't very far.
The hover bike level?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's horrible.
Speaking of timing, like the Lion King. By the way, you're the first one to bring up Lion King, which is a pretty popular
Of course
game.
I am.
Surprised.
Congratulations, Australia.
Hey, that and the Genesis version is widely considered better than the SNES version. Same with Aladdin. The Aladdin version.
I had that down on my list too. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Aladdin.
Yeah, the Aladdin version on Genesis actually had real Disney animators create the sprite work for the game.
Oh no way.
And it was far superior than the Super Nintendo version. I know this because I was arguing with kids at the school ground that Genesis was better back in the day. So I had all my arguments ready. But Battletoads, speaking of timing, that hover bike level, there is no way any human being could actually play that level and beat it by like the cues. Like it's pure trial and error. You have to die 1,000 times and memorize
everything
step by step, increment by increment. There's no other way to beat that level.
No, you can't do it instinct alone. That's definitely true.
Yes, and I was reading. It was a different game, and man, the game is escaping me. But it was a documentary on some developer. But the concept was they would create levels like difficulty spikes in those old games, so that you couldn't beat the game in a rental, and that you'd have to rent it again. So they specifically would put levels like that. Level 2, usually it was like 2 or 3 levels in the middle. So they would make like the first 2 levels. This is kind of like a general formula. They'd make the first 2 levels easy, and then they would put a difficulty spike so that you couldn't beat it in the 3 days, and you have to come back and run it again.
Man,
and they were in cahoots with.
Wild.
Anyways, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I do miss. Like you were saying, you would show up and you get free rentals and hang out at the GameStop. Like none of that stuff happens anymore.
No, dude, I miss Blockbuster so hard right now.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know. Obviously, I don't like developers arbitrarily putting massive difficulty spikes in the middle of a game. That's maybe could be a negative. Sure. But man, I miss Blockbuster. I miss like Friday night hanging out with your dad. Let's go get some candy. Let's figure out what we're going to rent. Yeah. The magic. You spend like an hour and a half looking at everything. You can only pick one thing.
Yeah.
So you agonize like, ooh, I'm down to like 3 choices. Which one can I pick?
I know, man. Like I seriously would walk around there for like an hour or 2 sometimes, just looking at stuff like, oh, do I want to watch that? No. Do I want to? Oh, it's out, motherfucker.
I was going to say, when you find that the copy behind isn't there, that's the biggest frustration. Yeah. And you go up to the guy at the desk and like, would you happen to have another one of these behind the desk?
Yeah, you're hoping somewhere, like, please, someone returned it. Please, someone returned
it. Oh, those are the days. I feel like
man.
I heard recently there is a Blockbuster still open somewhere.
What? Yeah, what?
There is.
Like Anchorage,
There's
Alaska?
one still open.
Yes, actually. No, I can't remember where it was. I felt like I heard it on the news like last week or something.
Fake news.
It's I want to say it's back east. I've seen it on the news.
Yeah.
I look it up.
Wow.
Blockbuster still open.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is in the last Blockbuster, New York Times. Let's pull this up. Oh, damn, I don't have a subscription. Damn you, New York Times. I can't read that.
It's just teasing. It's like a dick tease.
Gets us every time.
Oh, I was wrong. It's not east. It's in Bend, Oregon. Still open.
Oregon. Yeah,
yes.
See, they haven't caught on to the streaming thing yet. Apparently not.
I guess I'm moving.
We're not getting any listeners in Oregon right now, that's for sure.
Dang it.
Wait, did you guys say you were in Missouri?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is totally off topic, but I grew up in a beautiful, nice little cult known as Mormonism.
Hey, welcome.
We got some history in your state.
Yeah, you do. I actually grew up as part of the RLDS.
What?
I'm not even making that up,
God.
dude. Yeah, man.
Are you kidding me?
No, yeah.
I don't even know what's
dude,
happening
that is
right now.
Yeah, dude, Independence,
world.
man. Independence is called the center place.
Holy shit, I don't know about you. I'm not practicing Mormon anymore. I mean, it's still like my culture I grew up in.
Right.
RLDS, you guys are like the more hardcore version.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Mine. Yeah, it's a little less polygamy, a little less can't drink Dr. Pepper kind of thing. But it was weird. I grew up. Yeah, my mom was super into the RLDS, and then they split, and I think they formed they formed the COC, which is the COC. Which I thought was pretty funny, and then the branch that my mom went with was the Restoration, and that's what I grew up in, was the Restoration version of the RLDS.
Oh, I didn't. So RLDS has like split into two sort of groups.
Yeah, actually like three, because there's another group called the Remnant. It just keeps dividing.
I did not know that.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, it's like cells. When you're making a baby, it's
just
great.
cells.
I don't want to because that's a whole subject on its own. Like we could go off forever on that. But I want to know how did you guys view the Mormon, like the big corporate Mormon church? Like what was the viewpoint from because the RLDS for us was like, oh, you guys are fundamentals that lost your way. And
honestly, like
apostates.
I didn't really know anything about Mormonism. We had the Book of Mormon, and that was it. I never really learned about the Mormon Church until, and I still don't really know. Like I don't even know anything really about the Mormon Church as an adult. Other than like Brigham Young went to Utah, and like
yes, yeah.
That's about it.
That's funny.
I know about.
Yeah, you guys are too busy just doing your own thing. They definitely, because there was the succession crisis after Joseph Smith died, and Brigham, that was a big deal about who was the right next person.
Yeah.
And so when we grew up, there was a lot of talk when you go over history, like you guys got to make sure to know that Brigham Young was the legit one, and everyone else was apostates. Okay, and so
that's funny because ours definitely flip flop. Like they're like Joseph Smith was the guy. In F Brigham Young,
well, he was the guy. The problem is after he died, who was the next guy?
Yeah,
and that's where So we definitely would go over that period in history, and they would drill in our heads that yes, there's these other churches, but they have all lost their way. They're apostates, evil,
evil people.
But you guys had a cooler temple. You had the ice cream cone temple.
Oh, I don't know what that is, man. I don't know what that is, dude. The cone in the sky.
Is that what they called it?
I don't know, man. It's weird. It's people were, when it first got built, because it spirals. They're like, if you're in the air, it says 666. It's the temple of the devil.
Oh wow.
Well, I know how I can connect this back to gaming. Were your parents strict about the games you could play?
Yeah. That's why I didn't. My grandpa had the NES, and then my cousins had the SNES, and it wasn't until I was actually, 13, 14, where I finally saved up enough money from. So my birthday is a week after Christmas, and I always just got shit on around the holidays, so. I had to scrap and save everything I could, and I ended up buying a 64, Nintendo 64, and I had a little black and white TV. We didn't have a TV for like the first 10 years that I was, growing up, and it sucked, man. I hated it. My mom was like, "You can't."
So, that makes sense. So, Grandpa's house was where the fun was at.
Definitely, dude. Yeah. I couldn't watch like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because they were mutants and weird. Darkwing Duck, like.
Oh, that's a good
gargoyles.
one.
Like if I was at my grandpa's and mom wasn't there, it was fine. But if she was, I'm like, get outside. I'm like,
get you a stick. I
I did, man. Sticks were awesome back in the day. Yeah,
sweet. So it sounds like both of you guys, after the Genesis, or Mega Drive, excuse me, you went to the 64, and then you went to the 64 as well.
That was
you guys kind of overlapped that way.
The next one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what games I know there's the big ones, Mario, Zelda, GoldenEye. Any games that really stick out to you guys?
Oh, dude. Turok 2, Seeds of Evil.
Ooh. Good one.
Yeah.
Very good one.
Yeah, dude. The cerebral bore, that left an impression, man.
Yeah, Turok, both 1 and 2, especially at the time, I cannot think of a first-person shooter that had more creative guns than that game.
Oh, it was amazing. Amazing. Like in that game, like I played that game forever. Yeah, Yeah, 64. That I think. Yeah, GoldenEye, Mario Kart, and Zelda, Ocarina of Time, just amazing. But yeah, man, Turok 2 was like that was a big one for me.
I think it's kind of funny that so you had a little bit of a strict religious household, but then you were playing Turok.
I hit that game, and I had to turn the blood off when my mom was around.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Rebellious.
It did have the option, which is convenient.
It was, man. Off. Yeah, you could either turn it off. There was red or green blood, and I switched back and forth between red and green because it was fun. But
that's fascinating.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I guess when I was playing, I guess this is kind of fun. I was that kid who would play Zelda, Mario, or Mario. How do you guys say it? Mario.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, GoldenEye. But with GoldenEye, so in England, when it comes to the ratings of games, over here you have R and PG.
Well, I think it's mature now.
Oh, is it M? Okay.
Yeah.
So in England, they had your age. So it was 12, 15, and 18. And at the time, GoldenEye was rated 15. And I wasn't...
Really?
Yeah. And I wasn't rated... I wasn't 15 at the time. Yeah, it's kind of weird that it was. But So, of course, that game came out. All of us wanted it. So we had to find ways for friends' mums to buy it because, obviously, we couldn't buy it. And so it was all these covert operations. And when I did get the game and I played it, I obviously had to make sure that my parents weren't around when I was playing it because it wasn't that, gory or violent. But I guess, you're shooting people and whatever. But yeah, so that... when we talk about, being covert when we're playing games, I guess that's my memory of... my first experience
trying to sneak GoldenEye.
Trying to sneak
out of the store.
GoldenEye. Yeah, sneaking GoldenEye.
Yeah, I could see GoldenEye maybe setting off a red flag for your mom. I actually just posted a clip 2 days ago of I was playing GoldenEye and I shot a guy in the neck. And he grabbed his neck, and there was blood coming out of his neck, and he went to his knees, and he died out slowly.
That's.
And I remember thinking ooh, I have 2 little girls, and I was like, if they were playing this, I might be that's a little graphic for my kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I could see that. I mean, it was really blocky, bad graphics, but at the time, it was cutting edge graphics.
Well, that and a game called Perfect Dark. Did you guys ever?
Yeah, I played that a lot.
Yes.
So that was rated 18.
Oh, well,
so
it was bloodier though.
That was and so it's a similar story. I can't remember how old I was when that came out, but the same covert operation would start happening with friends, and we'd buy one copy and then share it around and try and play certain levels, and that was I completed it, but every time your parents are home, you're like, oh, got to turn the game off because they'll figure it out.
I had a similar experience with on the PS2 Grand Theft Auto. And Vice City. They were running news stories about that game and all this hype around how terrible it was. And my parents knew I had the game, but they didn't really know anything about it. And my dad came downstairs and was like, "You have that game, Grand Theft Auto, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen it on the news. You can I know about that game. I know now. You need to give it to me. I'm going to take it away." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I saw on the news you can get a stripper, sleep with her, get your health back, and then you can kill her and get your money back. and
sums it up.
I was like, you're not wrong. You can do that. But, Dad, these are just an open world game. You don't have to do any of that. You choose to do what you want. And I would never, ever, ever, I'm such a good boy. I would never choose to do something along those lines. Of course, I was doing it all the
time. Do you remember playing Duke Nukem on PC back in the day?
Yes,
and they had
you could get the strippers' money.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
That was one. My friend, I had a friend's dad who was a programmer for a local. Basically, it was it was how do I say, Microsoft before it was Microsoft, like an offshoot.
Okay,
it was local down the street. But anyway, my friend always had cutting edge PCs because his dad was a programmer. And so I played Duke Nukem, and his dad wasn't aware of it either. And when his dad wasn't around, that's what we would do. We would boot up Duke Nukem. We'd walk around and give the strippers, but the strippers had little tallies on their nipples.
Yeah.
You couldn't actually.
Yeah. Honestly, when I first saw them, I thought they were just really long nipples. And I was like, what?
Oh man.
But yeah, that was a game changer too. But I mean, that's another thing I was thinking about the other day as a kid growing up in the 90s, early 2000s. The things you would do just to see a pair of pixelated titties with a tassel on it.
That's so true.
Because you were there was no internet. There was no phones. There was I think it's a good thing. I think the access to pornography is kind of freaks me out now.
Well, yeah, it's so accessible. I mean, what happened to dial-up, man? You have to sit there and wait for it to load, like, slowly, and you're just like, come on. The anticipation's killing you.
Someone's playing a piano.
Yeah. Come on.
I kind of wish there was that natural barrier to entry, for my kids. Because it's like, I don't know. Do you guys have, I'm assuming you guys have kids?
Yeah.
Talk about dad shit.
I have no kids.
Yeah, I kind of stress about that. Like, how am I going to handle social media and pornography and the internet and prep them?
I got to be completely honest. Like, I'm not a big like religious person anymore. But like my kid, just a personal experience. She was in 8th grade, and she came home one day and is talking to me about how when they do that thing where they're like, and you're like, what's up, dude? And they're like, oh, nothing. And you're like, all right, dude, what's up? What's going on?
Beans.
And she's like, hey, yeah, so all right, don't be mad, but today at school there's like 8 girls that got busted for sending nude Snapchats to like 7 guys in class. And I was like, wait, what? Like, you're 13. Like,
yes,
that wasn't you, was it? And she's like, no, it wasn't me, I didn't do it. But I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, that's
crazy.
Woo!
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. That's what legitimately stresses me. I mean, I watched a documentary recently. They just basically interviewed a bunch of, they were in the UK, they were in the US, and they were in South America. And they were just interviewing, like, basically 12 to like 16-year-old girls about their experiences online. And it put the fear of God in me.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
I gotta figure, I mean, my girls are 4 and 5, so I still got a little while to figure out what I'm going to do. But it stresses me out. And I even think for men, like, growing up, having no access to pornography and like, all you could get was Duke Nukem, pixelated or whatever. Like, that was magical because you could never like overindulge. It wouldn't mess your psyche up.
Yeah.
But it was, but now, I kind of...
Yeah, dude, my nephew's...
I'm turning into that old man, bitching about the new generation already. It's happening.
It's really scary. It's like I'm 35 and I'm like, dude, my nephew's 7 and my sister busted him looking at porn on her phone. And I'm like, what? Like, he's fucking 7. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
The age of reason hasn't kicked in.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I saw an ad for a phone that was advertised for kids. Like, it's a smartphone that has maps and texting, but it has no apps, no internet, like no social media.
Yeah.
But you can still track your kids, like find my iPhone type of deal. Sure. I might maybe snag one of those. Yeah, I have mixed feelings because I love the internet and I love all the things that come with it, but I don't know. But at the same time, every old man since the dawn of time has complained about the new generation.
That's true.
And so it might just be normal, like, society moving on, or it might be the downfall of society. I don't know. I can't tell.
It's difficult, man. Like, it's really frustrating as a parent right now to just, like, how much freedom do I give? But I don't, like, at the same time, I don't want them to do, just run with it and take advantage of it too. It's difficult.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out because, there's nothing to do other than figure it out. There's another option. So
true story.
Yeah, but I do like that. Yeah, I kind of wish my kids could. I mean, I don't have boys, but that there was a magic to like having such a high barrier to entry to the things that were taboo and trying to be covert and find your way into things that you're not supposed to find.
Yeah,
half the fun was the journey, not actually the end result, but it was being covert, sneaking games behind your parents that, you weren't getting your friend to buy the game because you weren't 15. Like, that's magical.
Yeah, it was, man, because we would do that at Blockbuster too. Like, oh, hey, my friend's 18. We could definitely rent that Playboy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. The Red Shoe Diaries. We've all been there. Come on.
So do you guys play games right when you say when you're going to start streaming? What are you guys playing right now?
So yeah, we're still in the process of setting up our stream and how we're going to kind of work it out and figure it out. But I think we're going to kind of do a bit of both. I think we're going to play, those new releases that come out. I mean, I'm excited about Diablo 4 and Callan certainly is. And so we'll probably do like some kind of stream set up on that. But then, yeah, we might actually do some throwbacks too, and just find an older game, and just kind of bring back those memories. I think Lion King's got to be in there, honestly. Just gotta just find a way to start streaming it. And we've only just
get a Sega.
Yeah, find a Sega first. Yeah, but yeah, we're still trying to figure out how we're going to do it, what shows we're going to run. I've been doing test streams for the last couple of weeks where I've just been playing around of Warzone with a buddy, just kind of making sound and video and all that working out. But yeah, watch this space, I guess.
Yeah, I should maybe talk to you. I've been having technical issues figuring out streaming, to stream at the same time and record. I can't figure out a way to make both good quality.
Oh, it's fun.
So
games,
if I stream,
let me tell you that. I mean, tearing my hair out is one thing, but I don't know how 10-year-olds do it, because somehow it seems to be if you want to play through a PC, then fantastic. You just got to do this, and this. Whereas if you want to stream through a PlayStation or an Xbox, yeah, they have their own built-in software to do it, but the quality is kind of crap. So I ended up buying an Elgato game capture card, and
you've got a capture card,
right, and then you have to go through all these different. If you're wanting to be kind of professional out of the gate, then you have to kind of follow these steps, get the right gear and all this. But it's all been fun and games trying to set it up, because I'm trying to hook it up to a Mac. And let me tell you, Max and Elgato are just not good friends. I mean, they work with each other, I guess, but expect a lot of third-party downloads and workarounds and whatever you want to call it. It's not ideal, to say the least.
What software are you using to stream?
So right now I'm playing around with OBS.
Me too. Okay.
So Elgato has their own, but it's very basic and it's not that great, to put it bluntly. But OBS is pretty good, and a lot of top streamers use that. Streamlabs as well, which is, I think, part of OBS, but it's a separate software. There is one other, I can't remember the name of it, but OBS, I think, seems to be the kind of the mainstay. A lot of people use that.
Perfect. Hey, I pounded some. I've been trying to drink more water. I have this big gallon thing of water. I got to piss like a racehorse. Can you guys give me 5 minutes? Okay. I'll be 5 minutes. 1 second. All right. Sounds like I missed a good story.
Oh, man. He's talking about his experiences of being pulled over by the popos.
Driving on this side of the road in this country and, messing around with driving. This was years ago, but
actually, it was today. He waited at a green arrow. I was right behind him, and he's sitting at a green arrow, and I'm like, you can turn. It's cool. And he's just he's still sitting there.
Waited.
I'm like, well, he's not, oh, it's yellow arrow now. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go now. What? All right. That's cool.
I have momentary brain farts where I forget, oh, wait, green arrow means go. Green light means yield. But anyway, if you're turning
green
left. If you're turning left, not just... Oh, man. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Yeah.
I can feel you a little bit. When I moved to Australia, I had a hard time acclimating. There was many, many times when I drove on the wrong side of the road coming out of a turn, just out of habit. Probably I can think of 4 times memory where I realized I was on the wrong side of the road when headlights were coming at me. It took me a while.
Yeah,
so
it does.
That's hard. I mean, it's ingrained deep inside you. Driving is this weird. I mean, think about how many times you're driving and you don't you had that space where oh, I'm home. I don't even remember how the whole drive. Maybe I'm on the freeway or something and you zone out and then all of a sudden you're home and you realize you weren't paying attention. It was all subconscious.
It's
hard.
It's a mind. Yeah, it's a mind screw.
No wonder you're into jiu-jitsu and stuff. I mean, if you lived in Australia, everything there wants to kill you. So props for surviving.
Everything does want to kill you. Yes. We used to capture. They have these spiders. I don't know if it's the actual technical name for the spider, but we call them huntsman spiders.
Oh, I've heard of
and
those.
And they're they don't do webs. They just hang out in trees and kill birds. So these giant ass spiders.
F that.
And so we would catch them and then make them fight to the death in cages and film it.
It was wild. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel a little bad now. I'm those poor spiders, but I was 20. I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, man, dude. Yeah, me and spiders and snakes. I don't know what it is about spiders and snakes, but I'm not the biggest fan.
Spiders I think I can handle a snake.
That was random this morning. Cleaning out the pool filters. I actually have an in-ground pool, just bragging. But we found a mole. There was a mole in one of our pool filters that drowned. How did that get in there?
Oh man, that's wild. That and snakes, spiders, lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
How are you guys doing in the lockdown? Or is your state starting to open up? Or are you guys still in full quarantine?
So our state opened up the beginning of May, but our county decided that they're going to be dicks, and they're like, we're not going to open until like May 15th, and things are slowly beginning to open back up.
Yeah, I work as a personal trainer at a gym downtown, and it's funny how it's in two different areas, yet one gym in one area will be opening up, and another gym, the one I work at, is still closed. And you're like, they're separated by 20 minutes of drive time. Why are the rules this different? But yeah, it's been a very, the whole thing's been such a surreal
it's weird
mind. Yeah.
So when you guys are doing the CrossFit, is like, do you have to maintain a certain amount of distance while you're working out? Is that how it's working?
The gym just opened up this week for us. Mm-hmm. And they have like these big rectangles blocked off for each, and they can only have 20 people in the building at a time. We have to sign up and claim a spot on an app. It's fine, but it does suck.
They're calling it the new normal, which
I refuse. That's bullshit. Yeah, how's things going for you out there?
Did you guys? Oh, say that again.
How's things going for you on your end with all of this?
My jiu-jitsu gym just opened up fully back to normal this week. So I rolled 5 times this week, like totally normal, full class, full contact. I'm not dead from Corona yet, so I guess I'm all right.
Where are you based out of again? Sorry, remind me.
Utah. I'm in Utah.
Right. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, that definitely makes sense with your background.
Home of the Mormons.
Yeah.
Did you guys play any games over quarantine?
Yes.
You go.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Where to start? I used to.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. I want to know what you guys have been playing.
Yeah. So I used to really, really go hard on Destiny. Hated it when it first launched. Hated it. And some friends of mine got into it, and they're like, "Come on, man, it's gotten really good. They fixed it." And that's one of my problems with a lot of these like newer generation games where they release literally a broken game, and they're like, "But don't worry, we'll fix it. You can just pay for us. You can pay for it in expansions later when we fix it." And I'm just like, "What? Like this? Okay, that's ridiculous." So,
are you talking about Destiny 1 or 2? I'm assuming 2.
Both. I think Destiny 1 actually they did fix it progressively, it got better, but when it launched it was just hot garbage. And Destiny 2 was one of the biggest like abject failures when it launched of all time, like in my mind. It was just a giant piece. It was like Overwatch, where it's like there's nothing here. This isn't a real game, and I paid $60 for it. Or 40, whatever it was. I actually paid for Overwatch back in the day when it first came out, and I was really upset about it. So, I don't know, man.
I had a similar experience. I bought Destiny 2 at launch with the season pass, and I didn't play Destiny 1, so I didn't have anything to compare it to. But I liked it up until, I think it was the Forsaken King, like the 3rd or 4th expansion.
Right.
Didn't come with the season pass. I didn't know that. So I'm like, oh, sweet, there's a new expansion out, some new raids. And I go to play it, and I got to pay $40. And I'm like, but I paid like $110 at launch to get like the whole shebang.
Yeah.
And now you guys are charging. I was like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, and now it's free to play. I'm just like, what? This is bullshit.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah, that stuff drives me crazy. So I here and there, I'll get back on Destiny 2 and play with some friends just to keep in touch. But I'm a big fan of, single player games like Witcher 3. I think is definitely one of the better experiences I've ever had in gaming. And just recently, so you're retro. Streets of Rage 4. Have you played that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think?
I'm balls deep into Streets of Rage 4.
I like it. Yeah. So I picked up Streets of Rage 4. It's a lot of fun, man. And James, I got him playing Diablo 3. We played a little bit of that.
Yeah. What was that one that we played the other day?
Castle Crashers.
That's what it was.
Yeah, dude. Love Castle Crashers.
Yeah, you didn't tell us that there was a point in the game where once we've defeated the main boss, then it's like a battle of fighting against each other. So we were just like, yeah, we did it. And then you just come around and just sneak attack both of us.
Well, there's a princess that needed smooching, so, when that happens.
Oh man.
Yeah, Castle Crashers doesn't. I don't think it gets enough love. That's a great game.
It's a great game.
It is. Yeah, I got to admit. Yeah, I was a little skeptical at first. But
what was the one before that? It was like Alien Hominid or something like that. And I don't think that game from that developer was as good. But Castle Crashers it was great.
It was good.
I loved it. Man.
I had a good time. It was good. Yeah, it was good. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So what do you think about some of these like new age side scrollers like Shovel Knight or Super Meat Boy?
I do. So a lot of people in the retro like indie community complain about like so many similar games coming out, Metroidvanias, side scroller platformers. But I'm not sick of them. I could play another 2,000 of those. Like, I just keep buying them, especially Metroidvanias where it's like you backtrack, you unlock skills. It's a side scroll, like that formula. I haven't played Super Meat Boy, but basically all the other like Shovel Knight. I've played all the Shovel Knights. There's a new one called The Messenger. It's like a newish one. It's like a Ninja Gaiden clone.
Oh, nice!
But it's like a modern retro game. Anything that's like modern, Hyper Light Drifter's like a Legend of Zelda clone, like a sci-fi. There's a lot of them, and I'm into all of them.
That's really cool. I love Shank when it came out. Like
yes, Shank. That Shank 2 was
I haven't played
one of my best gaming experiences ever.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So I got to add something to my list.
Get the list out.
Yeah.
I like that you brought up Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is my all-time most hours played in a single game.
Yeah, I think that it's a toss-up between Diablo 3, Diablo 3 and Destiny 1. I think I have, oh man, it's gross. It's like 2,400 hours in the Destiny 1.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I went pretty hard on that one.
It
was amazing that I was still in a relationship. Let's just be honest. I would take days off of work. Like, I was supposed to go on vacation. I'm like, you know what? New raid's coming out. I'll just take it now.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Do you guys, is your day, do any of you have a day job where you sit in front of a computer?
Mine rotates. Like, we do different things. We just, like, every 3 months we get sent to a different department, so it always changes.
Yeah, me, I'm pretty much always around, walking around, so I'll do a little bit of desk work, but it's not that significant, I guess.
Okay, the reason I asked is, I know you guys are into working out. My day, I work from home, do marketing on my own, I sit in the chair. Other than jiu-jitsu and maybe some kettlebell workouts, like, I sit all the time. And I'm noticing, like, jiu-jitsu and even, like, some squats, like, it's not making up for the fact that I sit anywhere between, like, 6 to 10 hours a day. Because my hobbies, besides jiu-jitsu, are also sitting, making music, playing games, whatever. And I don't know if you guys had any... I feel like my hips and my shins are atrophying. And I don't know, like, I don't have the time to go out and, like, work or walk
Nobody
for
likes
hours
leg
a
day.
day.
Nobody likes leg day.
Do you have any ideas what I can do?
Man, I think I tell this to all of my clients because, all the people that I train, a lot of them have that, desk job, right? They're sitting at a desk, it's 9 to 5, they're doing the typing on the computer, and just not just the hips getting super tight, but people kind of rounding, so they'll start to slouch, so their shoulders will come forward.
Yes.
And so it sounds kind of weird, but, just telling people to kind of move around, do like air squats every hour just to get like motion in their hips again. But even like just opening up their body, so just getting like some light weights, like you're doing reverse flies, so kind of like having the elbows to the side and then just opening the arms up and back just helps kind of release some of that tension, especially in your chest, because that can like carry a lot of that stress if you're rolling the shoulders forward. So yeah, I tell people a lot of those just kind of basic mobility stuff because people sometimes forget, especially when they're so engrossed in like games, they'll just not really think about, I need to get up and walk around, but
yeah, I actually think like there's something to be said about yoga. Just stretching.
Yoga too,
and that's something I personally need to work on more is stretching. I don't stretch enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know like my shoulder mobility is just hot garbage. My ankles are terrible, but
mine's been pretty bad.
I used to have dainty ankles and now they're just all scar tissue because they're too dainty.
But yeah, it is literally just a case of just even marking a time on your phone just every hour, getting up, walking around, doing some squats, doing some lunges, just to kind of make sure that keep that mobility in check because yeah, if you're sedentary the whole time, then muscles will just get used to being stuck in that in that state. So,
yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. I think the combination of sitting all day and then going to jiu-jitsu and getting smashed without like
Yeah, you're
It's
going
like
from one extreme to the other there, aren't you? A lot of, sedentary to bam.
Yeah, I've never had any real problems until like the last 2 years, and I think it's that. I think it's the combination of sitting and then going, and I'm like, because I'm so static, and then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, don't get choked to death and die. And my body's like, what are you doing? And then I have problems. I have shoulder problems, lower back problems, Charlie horses, elbow, like it's constant. It's never ending.
Well, just stretching in general, the thing that we all love to do.
So we use a PVC pipe.
Yeah.
We actually have one here at the house where we'll. It's I don't know 4-5 feet long, just a thin little PVC pipe, and you put it back behind your shoulders and hold on to each end of it and just kind of like work it out.
That definitely helps. Yeah,
stretch. Yeah,
doing those arm stretches, arm circles, that helps for sure. Shoulder mobility, but I was thinking more.
I think I know what you mean. Like when you say PVC pipe, sometimes at the gym they have those like, I don't know, like bars with grips on them, and you can hold them and put your shoulders behind you.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
that's
about?
It. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just a cheap version of that, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But I was thinking like foam roll too. Like I need to do more foam roll, but you can get those. They're thicker than PVC pipes, but you can like certain muscles. Like for me, my legs have been shot all week because of all these damn squats we've been doing in CrossFit.
Yeah. I just have not been motivated to work out during this quarantine.
Man, it's just like, welcome back. Here's your legs, gone. But just foam rolling your legs, where you just lie on your front and have the roller on on the top part of your leg and just roll back and forward. It hurts at first, but after a while, it feels a little bit better. So stuff like that, I usually recommend.
Yeah, we do with our gym every Memorial Day. I think a lot of gyms do it, or CrossFit gyms. It's called Murph. Have you ever heard of this?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
Teach me the ways.
Oh, well, Murph I think he's bringing it up on his phone. You do it once a year on Memorial Day, and it is the average person will get through it in an hour or so.
Right. So the movie Lone Survivor, Michael Murphy.
Oh yeah,
right?
Murph, like the army workout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Freaking ridiculous. So yeah, we're going to be doing that on Monday. Are you going?
I don't know.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So just so that people know, Murph is a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and another mile run.
Lord.
And a lot of people will do this with a 20-pound vest.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my
freaking
goodness.
nuts, man.
So that's the full Murph.
That's the full Murph.
They have like scaled down versions.
Yeah, which I will definitely be doing because I'm an ultra weak dick.
Yeah, but I mean, the idea is you break up the round. You do them in rounds. So you do 10 rounds of
20 rounds.
20. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 20 rounds of Oh god. Yeah, that's gonna be.
I got like semi-familiar. One of my clients back when I was still working at an agency was Progenics. Do you guys know Progenics? They're like they're like a CrossFit specific protein nutritional brand, and they worked with Dan, what's his name? He used to be like one of the
like Fraser, or not Fraser, but
Fraser. Yes,
Fraser. Okay.
Fraser. What? Matt Fraser. Yes. Yep. So I follow him on Instagram. He's a beast. And then there's this other dude that's older. He's some sort of military, Jeff. Something. He's got like a stash. He wears those vests. I see posts of him wearing these giant vests with like plates on his back.
He's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna bug me now. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I don't know his name.
Yeah,
but I know the vest.
Yeah,
Jeff Bridges. You guys know him?
No, I guess not. I know
he's.
The actor.
I think he's the oldest. Oh, sorry, not Jeff Bridges. Josh Bridges.
Josh Bridges. Okay, no, I still don't know.
Okay.
Nope.
Yep.
I think I saw a post saying he was one of the oldest guys to compete in the games. He didn't win, but he still did pretty well for being. I want to say he's like pushing 40.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that gross to say though? Because we're right there. It's like, you're about to fall off a cliff. And I feel like I've already fallen off that cliff. Like I wake up and I'm just like, everything hurts. I hate it.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it. I watch some of these CrossFit workouts, and I'm like,
Well, the games are.
Yeah, I don't know about
Matt
that.
Fraser. Matt Fraser is just his levels.
We don't do stuff like that
on another planet. I mean, I saw they had a documentary on Netflix where they went out to Dubai to do a CrossFit regional whatever tournament it was. Sure. He went, and he was just guys were out to beat him. Like they wanted to put up a good time, but No one got him. Like, he was just unstoppable. Every challenge, like, they did this bizarre one where they had to, swim out 5 miles or however. Well, it wasn't that far, but it wasn't 5 miles. I'm exaggerating, but it was a ways. And the waves were just like crashing, and yet somehow he's just like, a shark. Just, I'm good. Anyway, yeah, Matt Frazier's a beast.
Do they? Did they do any testing for those games for steroids?
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah,
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys I don't know. They train different than we do. We don't do all that craziness that they're doing.
They have pegboards too, which always fun.
Yeah. We're kind of weak dicks when it comes to.
We do.
No, my question was like, is it humanly possible to do what they're doing without the help of steroids, or are they?
That's a good question.
I
mean, I don't know. I don't know if that like diet, your nutrition alone,
it's got to be on point.
It's got to be, yeah.
Well, even doing like in this documentary, they had a run through the desert where they're literally going up and down hills, and some of them, like their ankles just obviously clearly weren't built for it, and so half of them are having to drop out because they're rolling their ankles or they're getting shin splints or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my question. Is like it's not just the workouts are intense. I could see someone doing a really intense workout. Like working out for 8 hours straight one day, but then they should be wrecked for a week and a half.
Yeah.
But it seems like these guys are doing those workouts every day, day in and day out. And I just don't understand how that's possible.
I don't know how your body acclimates to that. But also, I like, have you ever seen Herschel Walker?
Yes.
Okay, so Herschel Walker, especially if you look at him now, I mean, the dude is like jacked beyond belief. Like the dude is jacked. And he says that he's never lifted like free weights in his life. All of it is body weight, like calisthenics, and it's insane. It's freaking insane.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm looking at some pictures. Right? He looks like he's done some juicy fruits.
Because I feel like that too. I'm like, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
I could see. I mean, I know that I follow NFL athletes slightly more closely, and there's a lot of guys who have with great genetics, and they say most of their workouts are just sprints, and they're pretty jacked.
Yeah.
And I think it's possible, like with the right genetics plus the perfect diet plus.
That's true. You see the
perfect.
sprinters and stuff in the Olympics, like RIP 2020 Olympics, but man, like those dudes, like their quads are all, and then they also have got like beefy arms, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, wow. Dang, I wish
Dude, these pictures of Herschel Walker are retarded. This guy is,
dude, he's
swole.
Yeah, dude, size of the prize right there, man. He's got it.
I forgot about him. Yeah, I forgot that he did MMA.
Yeah, man, in like 45 or 50. Yeah. I read that he eats like one big meal at night.
Oh my god!
And it's just like
just lets it all digest.
Outrageous amounts of calories, but that's his thing, man.
I think The Rock. I mean, he eats 8,000 calories a day, or
does he really?
I don't know how much it is now, but when he was trying to put on that size, he was. I mean, they showed his diet, and it was like a meal every 2 hours. They was just.
That's
just insane.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if I'm going to get paid millions of dollars, maybe.
Then maybe, yeah. But just carrying that, like, his run time must be ridiculously short. Like, sprint 400 meters.
You think he has any endurance?
Yeah,
really?
All that muscle you got to carry?
The Rock?
There's nothing.
No. If he can walk to his car and not, like, break a sweat.
Gotta find my keys. Oh,
yeah.
Too many muscles in the way. Oh, man.
Yeah.
If you guys have any games off the top of your head that, like, what game might be The Witcher, because you said that's one of your favorite gaming experiences. Like, what game, narrative-wise, has moved you or captured you the most?
Damn, that's a good question. Like, narrative-wise, like, I'm a big sucker for story games. So, I even mentioned in our earlier podcast Uncharted, which, again, laugh at me what you like. But I like a good story game and just kind of being intrigued how they're going to carry the story forward and the narrative and, and all that. But, yeah, I have to really jog my memory of a game's like... move me to tears or anything, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's anything.
Okay.
Cancel one.
Let me. Oh my god.
Jog the memory.
No. Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterflies.
What?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I've heard. You know what? I've heard so many good things about the Fatal Frame franchise, but I've never played one.
Oh, dude. Okay, so. God, man. Game is creepy AF already. Like, it's creepy. It's not not going to say scary, but it is creepy. And the way that game ends and the note that it ends on is soul crushing. Like, holy shit. I just went on a journey and I just got mind fucked. And that one. Yeah, Fatal Frame 2.
I need to try that. I've heard. So for people listening that don't know what it is, the game I do know it's like a survival horror, but you take pictures of ghosts to make them go away.
The camera obscura, and it takes, like, you're getting attacked by ghosts, but you can only see the ghosts through the lens of the camera. So, like, you're constantly just holding up this camera, and there's like this little reticle on it that's like, if it's red or like starts vibrating, it's like, oh, there's a ghost. And there's film that you get in the film. The lower the number of the film is, the more powerful it is. It becomes like your ammo. So you try to kill these ghosts with your camera. It sounds crazy. It sounds so stupid, but it's an insane experience. Like, I would highly recommend Fatal Frame 2.
Do I need to play the first game to play the second one?
I never played the first one. I never played any of them after that one. But yeah, dude, I would just jump into it.
Okay, what did you play it on PS2? It looks like that's
no, actually, I think I played it on the OG Xbox. So I had one of those, like, I don't know if it's like jailbroken Xboxes or whatever, but you could, like, literally just burn your the copy of the game onto the hard drive, and I want to say that is where I played it.
You are a man of my. I had that too. Dude. Did you do the hardware mod where you had to do the solder, like the chip in the front, or the soft mod?
Yeah, I think it was solder. I actually had a buddy of mine that did it. Did you ever play the Dead or Alive beach volleyball? But it was like, you know what I'm talking about?
Of course I did. Of course.
Yeah, where it was just like, they just completely removed all the swimsuits for the chicks, and they're just out there playing. And each chick had like matching bush to her hair. Like, it was so ridiculous, man. But yeah, it was pretty awesome.
That's one of the most blatantly. It's just so. It's that game's so blatant. It's almost genius.
Yeah. Good times, man.
Yeah, I'll check that out at some point.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like Fatal Frame 2 was on PS2 and Xbox, which means I can play. I'm pretty big into emulators right now, so I could play. I think I can play this. The PS2 emulator is pretty solid.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah, dude, give it a shot.
Yeah, you're like I'm no joke. Probably close to 20 people have recommended me playing one.
Oh, I mean,
there's a bunch of Fatal Frames. I don't know which one's the best, but Fatal Frame 2 has come up quite a bit.
Yeah, Fatal Frame 2, man. That Crimson Butterfly. Woo.
All right.
Yep. It's an experience.
What about you over in the UK? What stories have locked you in?
Well, I said Uncharted already, but that's kind of a cheap answer. I don't know. Story games for me, or anything that's kind of shook me up. I don't know. I have to really think. Right now, I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawns. I feel like I've kind of,
that's a good one.
It is. I'm very immersed in it, but part of me feels sometimes that game that you almost lose track because, open world, you do all these mini missions, you kind of lose track of who's who, especially when you do stray from the main mission after a while. You're just kind of like, wait, I forgot that part happened, and we're actually doing this because of this reason. But again, games like that, like I said earlier, just so kind of, you get so immersed in the story, and, part of you is like, oh, damn, I can't get past this level, but I kind of want to know what happens next in the story. It's kind of an irritating part of it. But yeah, apart from that, and there's probably an obvious one I'm forgetting, like, oh, yeah, I forgot there's so-and-so, but...
How far are you into Horizon?
Let's see. So right now I think my character's level 18. I just started the third, what do they call them? Not training camps. They do these time challenges and they drive you mad.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, you still got the story in that game. Like the more you unravel about what happened, why the world way it is, right, who Aloy is, and why, it's really good. I think
so. That's what people are saying.
I don't want to spoil it.
I think I look at the map, and there's still a whole bunch of it to uncover. And so that part of it, like, I know certain bits about, like who her mum was or whatever, but I don't know the full scope of it yet, like you're suggesting. So that part I'm still intrigued about.
It has a great climax. Like at the end, it sort of unveils everything. And you figure out where you fit into the grand scheme of things, what happened.
Oh, nice.
And I really, really liked it. I'm a fan of sci-fi. And so, robot dinosaurs. I mean, how much better does it get?
It's kind of I mean, I've never really seen it. I mean, I know you showed me, Callan, a trailer for a game, but it's kind of genres crossover and overlap. But the idea of like, you're in this in the wilderness, and then there's a robot, bull over there. It's going to hijack it.
It's a little weird, but it's also pretty cool.
It's pretty neat.
I think it's a neat game.
Very Zelda-esque.
The only advice I will give is there's I forgot what the collectible is, but there's a armor you can get, like, if you get all the collectibles, it's called the shield armor.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Shield armor.
So right now, my biggest frustration with it is I'm trying to upgrade my resource satchel, and I have to get a boar bone. And I've been hunting boars for like hours on end, and I keep getting the meat, but not the damn bone. And I'm like, come on, I just need to carry more stuff.
Yeah, that's so. Have you've probably gotten at least one or two power cells, like run across one by now.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say make sure you get all of those because they unlock the best armor in the game, and you can get that armor like maybe barely past halfway. Like you can get it pretty early if you're paying attention.
Okay.
So I think that's worth it because it makes the end game is I don't know what difficulty you're playing on, but it was like crushing. Like the difficulty spikes the last few areas.
I usually set
and if
it to
I didn't have the shield armor, I might have given up. It's hard.
Yeah, I did my first cauldron, and that last boss was tricky, but we managed to get by it.
Yes, the cauldron bosses, they get rough. That's a good game, and I think that even though you haven't finished it yet, that can count as your story. That story in that game.
Okay, yeah, I'm intrigued. I'll let you know how it goes.
It is a popular game. Go ahead.
I was going to say I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Let me know how it goes. What soundtracks? What game? What's your favorite game soundtrack? Both of you.
Well, I mean, maybe a little biased, but I do think Destiny actually has a really good soundtrack. Halo has always had a really strong soundtrack, but The Witcher 3, again, I think pretty strong too.
Soundtracks, yeah, God, I mean, there's so many good ones. No, I don't want to say that. That's a cop out.
Go for it, Lion King.
No. Well, that is pretty badass for its time. No, I was going to say, like, I kind of like the Mario Galaxy soundtracks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're kind of like, you're in space, you're exploring. It's like, da, 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 da. I won't sing the whole thing, but
that's pretty good.
I never played Mario Galaxy, actually.
Pretty solid,
admittedly.
yeah. I mean, typical if you like the Mario 64, running around, getting stars, similar kind of setup. You're getting these, they're not stars, they're something else. Or maybe they are stars. It's been a while. But anyway.
I think they're
in a Mario
moon.
What?
Oh, they're stars.
They're
it looks
stars.
like
Okay,
stars.
maybe I'm thinking of something else then. I thought you got these little weird monsters, but anyway. But yeah, so soundtrack though, gosh, I was going to say Grand Theft Auto, but that's all music that's already in the game anyway. But apart from
that counts. I mean, for me, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was a big deal because it was the first time I remember a game having like bands for the soundtrack, like actual bands.
And
which Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto 5 had like there's an artist I like called Flying Lotus, and they had a radio station specifically Flying Lotus only in that game, which cool. I thought was awesome.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm waiting. Well, I think we're all kind of waiting to see what they come up with next, Grand Theft Auto wise. Rockstar doing something behind the scenes, but they're. Did I read that their CEO? Anyway, sorry, go on, Callan.
One of the soundtracks that I actually really really like is Hotline Miami 2. Did you ever play Hotline Miami?
You kind of cut out. She said Hotline Miami.
Yeah, on PlayStation.
Yeah. I played the first one. I never played the second one.
So the soundtrack for Hotline Miami, or I can't even talk. It started to sound like James over here. He's rubbing off on me. Hotline Miami 2 it's all that 80s 90s style like synth, but it's not bad. Like I kind of dig it. Kind of reminds me of. Did you ever watch that movie Drive with Ryan Gosling?
Drive, yes, that's a really good movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. So like it kind of reminds me in a way of that. Like I really like that soundtrack, and in a weird way, just how uber violent Hotline Miami is. Like it kind of reminded me of Drive too.
I'm going to have to check this out because that opening scene in Drive where he doesn't say a word, it's just like
so intense.
That is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Definitely up there. And then one of my favorite films.
Yeah, and then later in the movie when that guy gets killed in the bathroom, like in the hotel.
Dude.
Oh, bro, that blew my mind.
That, pun
intended.
The elevator scene. Like, there's so many it's a slow film, but when things happen, they just go full tilt.
Full tilt. That's, I mean, I haven't played the second one, but I mean, Hotline Miami is also a very violent game.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
But like, it's got that pixel style. Yeah, I'm watching some footage of the second one, and even the footage, it has like 80s, like filters and lighting and neon. I could see. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some questionable content in that game, man.
All right. I'm trying to think. At the end, I want to think, what I think would be interesting to know especially for you from the UK, what in your opinion is the most popular game of your generation in the UK?
Oh, wow.
Like, what's the king?
Of all time, or of just...
Like, if I met anyone from the UK around your age, probability wise, what would the game be?
Man,
maybe the game that everybody's played.
Yeah, I mean, of my time, I mean, GoldenEye was for sure like
GoldenEye.
Everyone was playing that. Yeah, well, I think honestly, when the N64 came out, I mean, the stores were just packed with kids like wanting to play the demo, like getting in line to play the demo. So dare I say, like Mario or Mario Kart? I mean, those games, everyone played those levels, and playing your friends with them. But yeah, I mean, there's probably another answer again that I'm not thinking of, but those two for sure, I think are certainly up there. It's like those are the games that everyone talked about, like growing up, like you had to have played GoldenEye and reminiscing about the graphics and all that.
Yeah, I didn't realize the 64 did that well in the UK, but it sounds like it did really well.
It did, yeah. I mean, so that's for me, like, and a bunch of my friends too, like, getting the N64 was like the best thing of the time. Like, oh my God, he got an N64, that was because that was before, I lose track of time. Like, was that during the Sony PlayStation, the first one, or was it just after? Was it before?
The 64, I believe, launched like maybe a year and a half. At least I don't know what the dates were in the UK, but in the US, I'm going to guess like 2 years after the PS.
That sounds very similar. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, N64, when that came out, that was like the new thing because, 64-bit. Yeah. It's like, what? The Mario in 3D?
What is this?
This
isn't Mario.
Yeah.
It was actually exactly a year.
It was a year.
Month later. Yeah.
But yeah, so when the 64 came out, that's when I built my game catalog. I got all the different games, especially in the Mario series, like Smash Brothers, Mario Party, Mario Kart. All the Marios I ended up getting somehow. So yeah, I'd say for sure one of those games.
Sweet. And for you, my RLDS fellow brother, what is your all-time, like, the GOAT of games for you?
You know what? Just based on experience alone, dude, I miss the LAN, man. The LAN parties for Halo. Like,
ooh, that's a good one.
That's
a really good
having that hookup in one house with all your buddies. We would have projectors, we would have TVs. It was great, man. Yeah,
I do remember very vividly the first time my friends and I were able to get a full 16-party LAN, like 4 Xboxes, 4 TVs, 16 controllers, and we had one friend at 18 who moved out. He was the only friend that lived on his own, so his apartment became the party apartment, and we finally we organized it, and we had the full get up, all 16, and man, that was the beginning of an era for me, for sure. Like probably like 2 years of just Halo LAN parties only. Dude, that's all we did.
It was amazing. Like that was some of the best times I think I've ever had, where you're just screaming at the person down in the basement and they're screaming back at you. And it was so good, man. So good.
I saw a meme that was it's like, what did it say? It's like, it's 2002. You and your friends just got pizza and hooked up 4 Xboxes for Halo. Little did you know this is the pinnacle of life.
There it is.
That's
at the
exactly
time or something like.
I remember another game. Yeah. Do you guys play Banjo-Kazooie?
I did not.
Yes, I did.
That game, that was because that was kind of similar in style to Mario, where you had to get jigsaw pieces. The idea being that you had to kind of the idea that you had to kind of collect, different pieces and build these pictures, and then you jump in them, and I dig that a lot. And then fighting that witch at the very end was tough because you had to use all these different abilities that you picked up during the game. But I dig that. And then they came out with Tui that I didn't play because I heard terrible things about it. But Banjo-Kazooie was a point.
I got to ask you this question. You ever played Armed and Dangerous?
Say that again.
Have you ever played Armed and Dangerous?
Armed and Dangerous.
Yeah, it's it was like a third-person shooter, crazy game, but the humor in that game was off the chain, man. Like you end up trying to save a village, and then there ends up being a leper colony. And one of the kids is like, they go stand on a soccer goal, and they're like, kick the ball to me. And you're like, okay, and you kick it to them, and it literally takes off their head. And like one of your buddies is like throwing up, like everyone's shocked. It was Armed and Dangerous.
That's right. Yeah,
it's so good, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm looking up footage right now. It's very rare that someone brings up a game I'm completely unaware of, but I have never heard of this. Props to you. Plus,
you win.
Blessings to you from the gaming gods. I'm going to try. This looks awesome. I'm going to try it out.
They have the land shark gun, man. You shoot a shark into the ground and it eats people. I'm a big fan of unique weapons, and Turok 2 and Armed and Dangerous are chock full of that.
Wild.
Oh my. So this game has a weapon. So someone commented on the YouTube video with a time clip, 333, the reason you're all here. So I clipped on that time code. And he has a weapon that you put in the ground and turns the world upside down and everyone falls.
It's so good, dude.
That's amazing. I've never seen that in a game. Who?
Highly recommend
what did this
it.
come out on? Is this an Xbox game?
Yeah.
What is this on?
Yeah. I played it on the Xbox.
We'll be hearing from you next week.
Oh, there's a PC version. Sweet. I can play it.
Dude, do it. Do it. That and Fatal Frame 2, man. Hop on that train.
I'm going to do that, and I will shout your ass out when I make videos
I appreciate
on Instagram
it, man.
and TikTok.
Cool.
Yeah. This looks... Dude, there's some crazy-ass weapons in this game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Wow, how did I never hear of this?
I don't know, man. That was one of those random games that I found at Blockbuster, and I ended up just, I downloaded it to my hard drive, and I was so glad I did.
I feel like I got to figure out, too. Like, I'm pretty sure we can get it, like, finding these games and hooking them up to the Elgato somehow, and there's got to be a way. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, great suggestion. Yeah, there's some... There's penguins. He's shooting penguins and blowing them up.
Oh, dude. Forgot about those.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the humor in that game is... It just makes you smile the entire time you play it. I love it.
Sweet. That's a great way. I think you guys told me you only had 45 minutes, which we went over.
Actually,
it's no big deal.
We just...
No big deal.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I just played... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is there anything else, any other games that stand out to you that maybe I haven't heard of? Because I'm always looking for new retro games to try out.
Well, you've probably heard of this one, Broforce.
Broforce?
Yeah. Have you heard of that one? I'm pretty sure you have.
Yes. I haven't played it, but I've seen the thumbnail on the Steam store.
Yeah, well, it's back on the PlayStation Store, bizarrely. I think they say they regenerated it, but the graphics are very similar to what it was. But that's a pretty wild game. My buddy Tyler here was telling us about it a while ago and saying how he thought it was, you have these characters from all these movies, Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, and...
oh, yes.
You play
it's like satire on action movies.
Yeah, you have the Blade Runner character, and there's all these different characters, and the idea is you go through these different areas and you just destroy everything, pretty much. You have these different weapons, but you have these different... I was playing it the other night, actually, and you go through these different parts of the map and try and trigger off bombs, and ideally you're just going from A to B. Each part at the end of the level is you get in a helicopter and you fly off, but...
get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Exactly. Yeah. And so, I only played the first level, but it does actually get a little bit harder, but it does progressively get more challenging as you go. So, don't think it's this level's done. This level's done. It does get tougher.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other games. I don't really have. I don't think there's too much that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Our
sweet. Well, Go ahead.
Arcade wise, like I was never a big cabinet guy. Like I would play here and there, like a skating rink, always Street Fighter 2 or like Primal Rage.
Yep.
But was there anything for you? Like, was there anything you played? Samurai Showdown,
Well,
maybe?
I just did. If you liked Primal, I just did a video on Primal Rage 2. So a lot of people don't know Primal Rage 2 was developed to like 99% completion. Hold on one second, my child. Hey, you got to bounce. You know the rules. You got to bounce. Give me like 15 more minutes, okay? I know you're being
so this is him on Instagram. So he's got all his little preview videos. Do you have Instagram? You don't do it.
Hey,
I'm a big
later.
social media.
Adios.
He's got Mario here.
Mario.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. So Primal Rage 2, a lot of people don't know. I didn't know this until I saw like a clip of someone playing Primal Rage 2 on YouTube. I'm like, wait a minute, there's a Primal Rage 2? I went down the rabbit hole. Apparently the game was developed to like 90-something% completion, then canceled at the last minute.
What?
Oh, wow.
And then there's like this crazy YouTuber, I think called Gypsy King 96. I don't know who he is, but he created a custom MAME, like, the emulator for arcade games, MAME.
Okay.
He made a custom build. Somehow the ROM leaked. One of the developers that worked on Primal Rage 2 leaked the ROM online. And then this YouTuber created like a custom emulator to play it, and you can play it. And
wow.
If you're into that, it's kind of a pain in the ass to set up, but you just got to follow the instructions online.
Wow.
Took me like 30-40 minutes to get it playable. It's the full game.
Wow.
But the difference is on Primal Rage 2, your characters are like giant human gods, and they can turn into the animal forms. So each character has like 2 characters.
Really?
It's badass. Like, if you like Primal Rage, it's really obscure and kind of a pain in the ass to set up, but I think it's worth it. I had a blast. I played the end boss. Well, one of the end bosses, Necroson, is like this undead dragon.
Okay.
And he was originally supposed to be part of the final boss on Primal Rage 1, but they cut it. And then later they actually added him to Primal Rage 1, the original arcade cabinet, through a flash update. But most arcades don't update their cabinets.
Oh,
and so
no way.
It's really hard to find a Primal Rage original arcade cabinet with him on it, because it was the very last update they rolled out to the original cabinet. And most arcades didn't do it. So the only way to really play Necroson is to download this leaked version of Primal Rage 2, where he's selectable from the get-go.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's like one of my. I literally just figured this out like last week.
That's kind of crazy to brought it up, man. Yeah, Primal Rage, I loved it, dude. I thought it was a really good game.
It's an awesome game.
Yeah,
I mean, that was back in the day when they were doing so you had like Killer Instinct, where they would like make 3D renders on a supercomputer and then translate them to sprites and turn it into 2D. Primal Rage I think it was made out of claymation. I think all those animations were
freaking
clay,
right?
I believe so. That's why it looked so badass. Primal Rage, I think it was claymation, or maybe it was. Oh, it is. Yep, there's a video making your Primal Rage. So that was a claymation video game, which they don't do anymore.
No, wait. Clay Fighter was one of my favorite fighting games, man.
Yes.
Yeah, he played
another one.
Was it? Oh man, what was Santa's name in that game? Crap.
See, there was Mr. Frosty,
Bad Mr.
Ichabod
Frosty,
Crane.
Right, but yeah, Santa, he had a move, and he would like, Santa's gonna sit on your lap, and then he like sumo sat on you. That game was so good.
Yeah, I forgot about Clay Fighter. Oh, Clay Fighter also on the N64 had Earthworm Jim in it. I forgot about
no way.
that.
I did not play that.
Yeah.
Version. Wow.
Oh yeah, and then there was like Helga, the freaking Viking chick with retardedly massive boobs.
Yes. And the Blob. Man. Oh, there's. Yeah. That's taking me back, man.
Dang. That is taking me back. I forgot about Clay Fighter. I'm gonna have to try that again. There's multiple ones. There's Clay Fighter on the Super Nintendo, then Clay Fighter 63 and a third on 64. Then there's another Clay Fighter called the Sculptor's Cut on 64. I wonder what the differences are. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, there's oh, there's Clay Fighter 2 Judgment Clay.
Oh.
And it looks like Terminator Judgment Day. Ah, I get it.
Oh, that reminds me of another game. Serious Sam. Did you ever play that?
Oh, yeah, Serious. In fact, there's a little bit of controversy. The new Serious Sam is a Stadia-only exclusive.
What?
Oh, wow.
There's a new one, and you have to play it on Google Stadia. It's the only way.
Wow. Dude, Serious Sam was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've played Serious Sam 3, I believe, on the PC. It's like pure action.
Oh, yeah.
Bazillion dudes on the screen at once.
Yeah. It's just a shooting simulator at that point. I mean,
yeah. Have you guys tried any, I've never tried a Stadia or PlayStation Now, any sort of online gaming service. Have you guys tried any of those?
I've been very curious about how it's going to work, and some people seem convinced that it's going to be the future of gaming, but I'm not convinced. I just don't think we're there yet. It's going to seem, or I think it's going to seem really glitchy when it first launches, like fully launches.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting how the game space, like the Xbox One when it launched, wanted to do like digital only, blah blah blah. People are upset,
right?
Like, oh, how dare you? And Sony's like, this is how we share games, and they just hand it to someone, and and now it's like,
this is how we share.
This
games.
is actually how. We're just going to go to digital because everybody's buying digital because that just makes sense. Duh.
That was one of the biggest mistakes I made. Is when I bought my console, I got the
you bought a PlayStation.
Well, that's a separate topic. I have an Xbox.
Okay.
But no, I got the smaller one. Of course, everyone's saying go to digital, discs are going away, and of course, every time I get a game, I have to delete 3 or 4 other games, and I'm like, oh, god damn it.
Gotta get that external hard drive.
I know. Yeah. Just haven't done it yet.
Man.
Lazy guy over here.
Yeah. The PS5 is supposed to have like a giant, big ass, super fast SSD.
Yes, it is.
That's the rumor.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be state of the art for sure. I think that's.
Did you guys see the Unreal 5 demo that was running on a PS5?
Yeah, that looks pretty crazy.
Was it the line tracing that's going on with everything or ray tracing? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
like it's really incredible. Even just seeing Minecraft.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying, like just seeing Minecraft, like a blocky world like that is like what?
Yeah, I did a video recently. I have a RTX 2080 Ti, so I have like the bomb.com GPU right now. Sure. And there's a Super Mario 64 was recently like the source code was leaked, and someone made, instead of being an emulator, you can actually download, if you're smart enough, because Nintendo went hard in the paint to take all the links down, but you can still find it. It's an actual native PC port of Mario 64, and then you can enable real-time lighting if you have an RTX card.
Whoa.
So it's like you were saying with Minecraft, it's weird to see this like blocky sort of visual style combined with cutting-edge lighting. The same thing happens with Mario 64. I posted a video on my Instagram and TikTok where I got it working, and it's obviously a homebrew mod. It's not like it's just someone got it working on the PC. It makes everything really shiny, like the carpet's shiny, the water's shiny, the grass is shiny, everything's super shiny. But the Minecraft one is actually, an official implementation of the RTX. And I agree with you. Like, there's something really cool about like old school visuals and new school lighting.
Yeah.
That combination is awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I dig it, man. I definitely dig it.
One game that's going to test drive first off?
Have you seen the Quake RTX? I think it's free if you have Steam. You can download Quake 2, I believe, with RTX lighting enabled.
Dude, whatever happened to those games, man? Quake and Unreal Tournament, just...
Yeah.
I feel like we used to play those all the time.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
Yeah, that arena shooter formula, I mean, I guess you could say that's evolved into the Battle Royale, maybe.
Yeah.
That's like the new hot thing. Which I haven't. You said you were playing Warzone. I haven't played Warzone. It sounds like you guys like it.
I haven't played it. I'm not a big.
dabble.
I'm not a big battle arena guy. I don't know.
I mean, it's being the Call of Duty version of Battle Royale. I do. I dig it. It's part of it. I feel it's a little complex, but I've just been playing, I say a lot of Fortnite. I've been playing Fortnite, I admit. I'm hanging out with the 10-year-olds. But, it's just you get into that, you get kind of sucked into those kind of games where you get so close to winning and they go, I just died, I got to try this part over again and I could do better. But yeah, with Call of Duty though specifically, I do appreciate what they've done and what they're trying with new elements of the game, like the self-revive part they don't obviously have in Fortnite. But yeah, it is kind of interesting how that battle royale is becoming, battle within the developers and how they're trying different things and trying to one-up each other every time.
Yeah. How do you feel about Warzone compared to like Fortnite and Apex? Do you think it's more fun, or you still sounds like you prefer Fortnite?
Well, I mean, the thing
does.
Steady on. The thing with Fortnite, I mean, I was saying this earlier to Callan, like games like Call of Duty and PUBG are very like real-esque, like they're very kind of immersive in that respect, whereas Fortnite is kind of a disconnection from that because of the cartoonish elements of it. And so I almost enjoy Fortnite in the sense that you don't get so sucked into it in that element. And I just say this because my wife has just started playing it. I got my wife sucked into Fortnite, and she loves it. It's funny because it's a simple, you can pick it up. It doesn't take too long to get used to it. Whereas something like Warzone, she's like, oh no, I don't think I'd be good at that or whatever.
Well, in the time to kill in Call of Duty, that's always been the thing for me. Like I hate how fast you can die. It's like you turn a corner, you're dead. Like I'm just dead.
You start getting drilled from behind and then you're dead. Yeah, that I can totally get. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like Fortnite seems to go through these waves of popularity where, they'll do something big with a new chapter launch, or they did that whole...
where they turned it off for 2 days.
They turned it off for 2 days and people freaked out, and then they relaunched with a new map. And that was very clever. And I think actually at this point as we record, Fortnite is getting to that stage where it's getting a little stale because they haven't done the upgrades in however long it's been, mainly because of the corona. But I think actually June 4th is when they're doing a new update and everyone's talking about it.
As long as they don't turn into Valve. Sorry. Dude, they might. Valve has such a catalog of great games and just doesn't do anything with them.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
I saw recently, I've never played Fortnite.
Good choice.
But I find it interesting because like the whole streaming world where people watch other people playing games as much as they play themselves. My mind, like my old man mind, hasn't wrapped itself around that concept yet. I still think it's a little weird, but I will say this. I spent a surprising amount of time watching clips of the Travis Scott Fortnite.
That was, let's talk about that for a second.
I did not watch this.
You didn't watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
So I watched it the time that it launched. So I watched the premiere one live. So I flew into the area and just waited around. And we were all expecting it to be just like a projection on the screen, nothing that exciting. But it was full on immersive. Travis Scott as a giant, characterization, singing his songs. And then they have all these interactive bits where you're jumping up and down. And it sounds silly, but I don't think I've ever been, I never have been part of something like that. And I was to the point, I'm not a Travis Scott music fan, but...
Was it like a concert almost?
Yeah, it was. So
really?
It was about 15 minutes. And as he was performing his songs, you could move your character around the map and kind of watch from different areas and
hang out.
And just hang out with people and do little emotes where you're dancing and all that stuff. But then there would be certain aspects where, like, all of a sudden the world would start to tip on its side, and you're like, "Oh shit! Look out, we're tipping!" It sounds so lame, but it was.
No, it sounds lame, but I was watching it, just like clips of it after it happened because people recorded it and posted on YouTube. I actually had this thought. I was like, okay, like this is something new. Like
it is. Yeah.
They're breaking new ground, and they're like combining elements that have never been combined before.
Yep.
This virtual concert thing, and that's what I noticed. I had seen there was someone else. Oh, it was Marshmello did a concert in Fortnite where it was just like you just watched it,
and everyone thought that's what it was going to be like, where it was just on a screen.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I watched the Travis Scott one. I'm like, oh, they took it another level. He's this giant thing. It's interactive. Mm-hmm. It's not just you watching. There's sort of, and I think they're going to keep. My prediction is they're going to keep minding that direction, and they're going to keep pushing that direction.
Like,
there's going to probably be like legit. It might be a new thing, especially because coronavirus lends itself to interactive online concerts. Yep. That might be a new thing where a big artist doesn't go on tour, but they just have dates where you hop on a certain game. And
I'm nervous about that, dude, because I love my concerts.
Well, they subsequently did on Fortnite. They had 3 guest DJs come on, and they were trying to promote this new like party mode or whatever, where you didn't kill each other, you just watch something. And so they had like Dylan Francis, they had 2 other DJs, and that was lesser so that was back to the screen where you watch it, but it was like live footage of them like doing their, doing DJing, doing their concert. And so in a way, yeah, you could tweet and you could just request songs or whatever, and it made the whole thing very kind of interactive. And yeah, I mean, I think to your point, I think this could be part of the future. It
sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, concerts will probably still happen, but I think certain artists will make the leap and say, hey, let's do this online, or maybe not using Fortnite, but some other game platform or whatever. Fortnite just seems like the obvious choice right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Fortnite itself will continue to go that direction, and I don't think they're the only game. I think that's going to be experimented with more. Whether it like sticks fully, I don't know, but I know that I'm assuming there's going to be more exploration in that direction. I am bummed about I'm bummed too, man. I was supposed to see Tool. There's like 4 concerts I've already missed this year that I bought tickets for, and I'm
so freaking bummed, man. Because last year, last Halloween, we have a small venue over here that's amazing, and it was I don't know if you're familiar with Beartooth or I Prevail or A Day to Remember, but
I know I Prevail and A Day to Remember. The first band I didn't recognize.
Okay, so they're all good, and I mean, it was an amazing concert. It not being able to have that experience. I mean, if that's going to be a thing moving forward, I'm going to be pretty upset. Not going to lie.
Yeah, I should probably sign off in the next 5 minutes. I've got to get back to. Hope that's cool with you, my friend.
Say that again.
I've got to sign off for in a second, but I hope that's cool with you.
Yeah, you got to wait a song. Oh, sign off. Sorry. You're the audio.
We don't need to hear that. King, it's already done.
It's like, yeah, you can sing a song, bro. It's cool. I'll let you do it.
That's what they do over in Australia.
No, the audio has been kind of like spotty, like you guys cut in and out, and I've been able to follow most of it.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah, let's sign off. Let's do. We already did your favorite soundtrack. I guess just what's your. Well, we already kind of did your favorite game of all time. I'm going to ask one more rapid fire question, and then we can go over where we can find you online and shit.
Okay.
I'm going to do like a intro before the podcast. I'm going to talk you guys up. Make sure to send me like all the links that you want, the picture you want for the cover art, all that stuff. We can talk about it after. Sure. Last video game question. Who do you think is the greatest video game developer? Company or individual person?
Oh man!
Adam with a K.
Are you talking like individual or like actual like
or
company?
Both? It could be. So in my mind, it could be either a company or an individual. It doesn't matter.
I mean, damn man, no, that's a tough one.
You said quick fire.
Yeah. I mean, like Nintendo, just because like they don't adhere to everyone else's rules and they do their own thing, and it's kind of a carbon copy of what came before, but they're always improving on it, and it's still great. So I think Nintendo kind of like they got number one. I'm a big Miyazaki fan from Software, so he's up there for me.
Praise the sun,
dude.
Yeah.
Those are probably my top two. CD Projekt Red, The Witcher 3. I mean, pretty good. But yeah. I'd go Nintendo number one.
I have to agree with Cal and Nintendo for me because they've got such a unique way of doing things. They don't have. I feel like Sony and Xbox are constantly competing. One-upping each other in terms of graphics and games and whatever else. I even find myself having to switch between them just because of one game. Whereas Nintendo's kind of got its own lane, and they're killing it with Mario. They're killing it with all their other products.
Zelda, man.
Zelda, yeah.
Breath of the Wild. Wow.
It has so. For me, Nintendo, I think, is going to continue doing their thing, even with the Wii and the Wii Fit, dare I say it.
Don't say that.
But it's crazy because they just keep coming up with stuff that's crushing it. I mean, there's never a thing that's like, maybe the Wii U, but separate subject, I guess. But yeah, I think for me, Nintendo's got to be that developer of choice there.
I buy that. I mean, I can see the logic as far as continuing to like do the same formulas and doing well, but also balancing them with enough freshness,
right? Yep.
Where It still feels familiar, but it's not. You're not playing the same game over and over. No one does it better than Nintendo. They've been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah. And they seem to
iterating on this.
They just have a niche. There's a niche carved out for them, and they own it.
Yep, that's it. And they keep working on it. They keep refreshing it, and it's just great. And people will always turn back to those games. And
for sure,
like Animal Crossing right now, like
killing it.
God, especially now. Jesus, that game is just
blown up,
crushing it. Yeah, insane.
Yeah, how about you, man?
Yeah, I agree. Nintendo, I could see that. I mean, all-time greatest, I could see Nintendo. Personally, I could lean like From Software. I'm a big Dark Souls fan.
Oh, yeah.
I just found out there was a game on original Xbox called Otogi, something Demon.
Okay.
And it was an early From Software game before Demon Souls, before all of that.
Oh, wow.
I need to try that out.
I did not know about that. Yeah, I'm a huge Bloodborne fan, man. Love Bloodborne.
Ooh, yes. Fear the old blood.
Yeah.
Fear the old blood. I love Bloodborne. Yeah, that's some dope shit. All right, Bros and Blokes, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Pretty much Bros and Blokes everywhere online, right? If they search Bros and Blokes, you should show up. Instagram, Twitter, all that.
Pretty much, yep. That's the handle for pretty much everything these days is @Bros and Blokes.
Yep.
And then what podcast platforms can you guys be found on?
Yeah, so Apple's, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, although I think it's turning into Google Music. I lose track. All the TuneIn, all the popular ones. Those are the ones you're going to find us on.
Why don't you guys pull a Joe Rogan and just sign an exclusive deal with Spotify?
I wish, man.
Really nice.
I'll take $100 million.
Yeah, Spotify is definitely dipping their toe into that market.
Woo! Big time.
Yeah, he was already rich, and now he's
what's funny is, without
rich.
getting too much into it, is he was adamant that he was going to do his own thing and not sign any deals.
I know, so that feels like a little hypocritical, but just over $100 million.
Yeah, money talks at that point, right?
Yeah, there's when you start putting like
real money,
30 zeros behind a number.
How many zeros would you like, Mr. Rogan?
Yeah, there you go. There they all are.
I think I agree. He was talking about doing his own thing or an app. I haven't talked to anyone about this. It's just my own thinking based on all the times I've heard him complain, like he can't play a song on YouTube or he can't post a video.
Right.
I think on Spotify he doesn't have to develop an app and go through all that R&D and spend all that money, but he can still get what he wants, which is he won't get taken down if he plays a song.
That actually makes sense.
He talks about a clip.
Yeah, because YouTube.
Yeah, and I think his YouTube was making a lot of money, so the $100 million deal, he was always scared of we get demonetized from YouTube, I lose all the money I'm making from YouTube. Spotify's like, hold my beer. We'll just pay that money up front.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Get over here.
So true.
Get over here, bitch. Yeah. All right, dudes. Well, I really, really appreciate the time. It was awesome. I'm glad you reached out. I had a good time.
This was awesome.
I'm glad you guys made time to be on the podcast. Super awesome. And let's do it again.
Yeah,
anytime you guys want to come back on or you want to, promote something, maybe you come out with a new episode or whatever, feel free to come on. I find it, I've been gaming a lot like that. I just kind of have guests when they come in, so it's hard to find guests. So anytime you guys want to make an easy episode and want to hop back on, just let me know. I'm totally down.
I was going to say, if you want to send the file over to you, I'll see if I can get a copy of it, and then we can host it as one of ours too, so we can kind of do like a joint hosting thing.
Yeah, that works.
Well, I mean, we've got that brotherhood in Christ thing going on right now, so it's totally great. We're basically bro force.
Sweet. All right, I'm going to stop recording. 3, 2, 1. Bye, friends.